Looking for answers, a Navy medic shoots 2 sailors in Frederick before heading to Fort Detrick with a gun. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter.
And I'm Denise Coquel. Police say the suspect left the Riverside Tech Park and drove to Fort Detrick, past a security checkpoint, before being shot and killed by police on the base.
We have live team coverage tonight. Avajoy Burnett spoke to community members who are left shaken by what happened. But
we begin with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren. He has the latest information. And Mike, I understand they have released the conditions of those injured in the shooting.
They have, Denise and Vic. The victims were scrambling for their lives here this morning. 2 sailors were in critical condition when they were taken to shock trauma in Baltimore. They are with their loved ones there now. One could be released as early as tomorrow, and police have yet to say what, if any, relationship they had to their attacker.
All units, 1043, city is operating on an active shooter event, possibly multiple victims. We have one with a gunshot wound to the left chest, shallow breathing, going in and out of consciousness.
Multiple gunshot wounds to the torso.
Frightening moments in Frederick.
Female with blonde hair and a military cut.
Carrying a long rifle.
Police say this morning, 38-year-old Fantahun Gurma Woldesenbet, an active member of the Navy, opened fire on a facility tied to the military in a tech park, shooting 2 sailors here.
We always hope that we don't get that call. Today we got that call. Tomorrow it could be another agency.
They say Woldesenbet then drove to Fort Detrick, an Army installation about 10 minutes away, and was able to get inside for 4 minutes before being shot dead.
The subject was stopped at the gate. Before he was able to be searched, he sped past the gate, made it about a half mile into the installation. He was pursued immediately by the Fort Detrick Quick Reaction Force. They were able to stop him in a parking lot. He brandished a weapon, and our police department was able to neutralize the subject.
Police are not yet revealing a motive or whether the suspect knew the victims or even was in uniform at the time. Woldesenbet lives in Frederick.
Still under investigation, but that's going to be one of the things that we piece together in the hours and days to come.
Authorities are looking into whether they need to increase security. They won't say whether this was a personal dispute or targeted toward the military.
We were about as well prepared for it as we could.
And now, they do have barricades that they can flip up at the gates to Fort Detrick. That was not done in time. We also want to say that Governor Hogan and Senator Cardin have issued their prayers to the victims' families. Reporting live in Frederick, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
All right, thank you, Mike. Now we continue our team coverage with Avajoy Burnett. She has more on people in that area who had to go into lockdown today. Avajoy.
Denise, this is a pretty big corporate complex. It's described as 650 acres, numerous buildings here, and as you can imagine, shockwaves went through this area when officials say an active duty military member walked into one of those buildings and started shooting. Frederick Community College, they went on lockdown. People who live around here were in high alert.
I just, seeing commotion, and it was just crazy out here.
A normally quiet Frederick Business Park became ground zero for an active shooter situation. Just as the workday started Tuesday, Frederick police sent out a warning to the public.
I just seen a whole bunch of, people running and yellow tape.
Brown Bauer was working across the road from the business park where an active duty military member shot 2 sailors.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking.
His sister was the one who called him from another state and told him what was happening.
I was in the building, and when she said it, I come outside, and of course helicopters, cop cars everywhere.
The police activity shut down roads.
I tried to come around and it's just blocked off from every direction.
And people in neighborhoods around here were put on high alert. Police say the shooter then drove to Fort Detrick, about 10 minutes away from the first scene, and personnel there shot him. Frederick Community College is on the same street as the military base. They tweeted to students, "Please follow the lockdown alert. This is not a drill." People who live in the area told WJZ they knew something was off when they heard alarms coming from Fort Detrick.
Next thing I know, it was going off, and it kept going off, and then I kept hearing police sirens.
Now, even though business was interrupted in the area earlier today, we realized that many of the folks who work here were actually able to go back to work because their buildings were not immediately impacted. Live tonight, Avajoy Burnett for WJZ.
Avajoy, thank you. Of course, we will continue to follow this developing story and bring you the latest on the investigation on air and online at WJZ.com.